What's going on, Pizza fam? Listen, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to make a quick shout out to Thrive POS. They've recently partnered with the podcast and they bring an exclusive offer for our listeners. Listen, Thrive POS is not just a POS system. It was built for operators just like us. It's fast, it's reliable, and most importantly, it helps us focus on what matters: our pizza, our people, and our profits. Check out the exclusive offer from Thrive POS at thrivepos.com/Pizza King, or just click the link in the description. Now let's get into the episode.
If you let people do what they're used to, they'll just order cheese or pepperoni.
But yeah, I call our slice counter our barrier to entry. If you want to taste our pizza and know what it tastes like, or taste one of the weird pizzas we have on our board or anything like that, there's a slice right there. You can try for $5. I mean, that's cheaper than going to McDonald's. You know, it's slice and drink for $5. And then if you don't like it, you're only out $5. And that's how we see it as. We open at 11 o'clock sharp. We, do the whole New York style slice shop thing. And we're surrounded by a lot of medical offices, which is awesome because, all week we're right at 11. We got a line at the door. People want to get a slice and a drink. And we got a pretty reasonable deal where we have specialty slices, which cost a little bit more, but you can in and out 5 minutes, a slice and a drink for $5.
Can't beat that.
Oh, no. And it's like, I mean,
can't beat that.
If we were in Vegas, it would be like, $8 slice of a drink. But, out here in Pahrump, we can't charge as much as Vegas would. And so, we usually right at 11, and we do slices from 11 to 3. $5 for a cheese or pepperoni slice. And, we use the good stuff too. We use Ezzo pepperoni, we use grande cheese. So you're getting your money's worth with that thing.
Getting good stuff and getting your money's worth. That's the best combination right there.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me at least introduce you. Welcome to the Pizza King podcast. Welcome back to the Pizza King podcast to all the listeners. Got a special guest today, and before I even say his name, I just want to read the highlights, because when you sent me this, I was like, damn. All right.
Yeah.
Second place, traditional international pizza challenge. Third place, traditional California pizza challenge. Best pepperoni slice. Best New York non-traditional pizza at the Great American Pizza Challenge in Columbus. Fourth place in Pan, fifth place in Classic at the Galvani Cup here in Florida. I'm talking about Chris Battiste from Mia Ava East Coast Pizza. Dude, you've been killing it on the competition scene the last couple of years. How did you decide that what you were doing was special enough to go take on some of the best pizza makers in the world and become one of those yourself?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm sure, as you are probably, I'm my own worst critic, and I thought my pizza was good, but I didn't think it was that good. And I'll even tell you a story, because the very, very, very first time I competed was back in 2016. I literally just started making Neapolitan pizza. I was only making it for 9 months. And then the owner of the restaurant said, "Man, I want to take you to the IPC out in 2016. What do you mean? You mean there's competitions for pizza?" He goes, "Yeah, there's competitions for pizza." I said, "Okay, I'll go." And I've never been to one. Man, I showed up and I see all these guys in their chef jackets and their sponsors all over them. And I wasn't prepared for that. I'm wearing a t-shirt, and literally my t-shirt was a unicorn and a narwhal with a horse cross, and it said "Burn It." And then stonewashed jeans. And I'm literally competing in Neapolitan, and every dude in the category was from Sicily, from Naples. And they're sitting there on the mic. "Yeah, I make my own olive oil in my backyard with my own olive trees. And my 100-year-old grandma grows the San Marzanos in her hand all year." And I was just like, "Oh man, I ain't gonna do anything here." And I got 16th, and I was surprised, and I was like, "Cool, 16th out of all these guys, beautiful." So let's fast forward to 2025. We got the pizza place, and I said, "I want to go to competition. I want to see what I'm gonna do." And I told myself, I just want to make the top 20. And so go compete in traditional. I go home, go to sleep, because the results aren't up yet. And then I got up around 10, 11 at night to go to the bathroom. And my wife, I swear my wife was just waiting like a sniper for me to wake up. And she goes, as soon as I hear, "Hey babe, guess what you got?" And I go, "What do you mean, guess what I got?" She goes, What place do you think you got?" And I said, "I don't know, like 18, 17. And then she keeps bothering me. And I was like, "Babe, I'm trying to go to the bathroom. Leave me alone." And I come out, she's like, you're She's like, "You're third place." And this was, the qualifier to get into the finals. And I said, "No, I'm not. You're lying." She goes, "No, you're third place." I go, "No, I'm not. Stop lying." And then she showed me. And like I said, it was 10 o'clock at night. She showed me I could not sleep until in the morning because I could not literally believe that I got third place in the Southwest Regional to make the qualifier. And then the next day
Time
when I
out.
had, yeah, first time out. And I was just like, okay, I guess my pizza is good. People like it. And then the next day I had to compete, for in the championship, and I boosted up a notch and got second, just under my buddy Wilhelm, at like by half, like not even half a point. And I was like, oh my God, I guess my pizza is good because that's how I am. I'm my own worst critic. I'm always tinkering with stuff. I always think I can do better. I mean, I pull a lot of pizza out of the oven and then everybody's like, oh, wow. And I'm like, no, I didn't put enough cheese there. That crust isn't cooked enough there. And I think that's what my drive is. And getting that second place, then I was like, all right, that turned me up. I said, I'm going to every competition I can go to and see what we do this year. And yeah, we did everything on the wall behind me in 1 year. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna keep rolling this until the wheels fall off. And then the Florida was the last one we went to last year, and then we're gonna start up again in March. And then towards the end of the year, we're signing up for the Caputo Cup in Italy, and we're gonna go out there and see what we can do out there. But it's been fun.
It's amazing.
No, it was awesome.
What
And
do
then,
you what do you when you're out there, competing and you're around all of these, all these legends, and I know you're hard on yourself. Do you try to take that opportunity to learn something and, you know, really just improve your skill too?
of course, the type of person I am, even when I was younger, most of my life I was in grappling sports, wrestling, jujitsu, judo, all that stuff. And if I ever got beat by somebody, I was in their gym next week training with them. And that's the first thing. Like, I developed a friendship with Wilhelm. I'm sure you met Wilhelm. Wilhelm Rodriguez out of Puerto Rico. And it's like
That
he
guy.
beat me. Yeah, he beat me, and I was like, me and him became best friends. We're on WhatsApp, showing pictures back and forth, going over dough recipes, just refining my game. Because what I really needed was to figure out how to travel with my stuff. Because like I literally don't know how I did as good, and I think just by taste. In California or the IPC, because I stored my dough in a cooler, not in an airtight box with ice in the cooler, and not thinking what does humidity do to dough? It just ruins dough. So when I got there, my dough was flat, especially in California because it sat overnight in a container with humidity, and it just looked like a pancake. So it had no crumb structure, had no air in it, and I'm just like, well, what could I have done if I actually had crumb structure and air to it? So that was the main thing, the main first learning experience with people like Wilhelm and people like my boy Enrico in Florida was, learning how they travel with their stuff. And that every event I go to, it's 100% a learning experience. I love talking to other guys. I love seeing what they do. I love bouncing ideas back and forth. How did you do this? What taste goes with that? How do you balance that? I don't even care if I compete a lot of times. I just want to talk to these people that I've been looking up to for years, or watching on podcasts, or watching them develop their restaurant on YouTube. I'm a student, and if I don't know it, and you don't, and I know you know it, I'm coming to talk to you. Just like next week we're going out. We're going out to the pizza university next week. We're just because I've never made Roman style pizza, and I want to make Roman style pizza, so we're going out to do that.
Are you going to Vito's class?
Yeah, man. See, that's the thing. See, when I was hanging out with Vito, talking to Vito, and they made a focaccia in the back, and I tasted it, I was like, I want to learn how to make that. That is excellent. And he goes, I'm putting on a class, in a couple months. I said, I'll see you there because that's what it is. If in this game, if you're just make the same dough every day, make the sauce every day, same dough, same sauce every day, and you're really not trying to change with the times or with new products coming out, you're just stagnant. And that's the one thing I never want to be, is stagnant. It's like just like in here in Peru, half the year I got to change my dough because it's so hot and there's no humidity at all. And if I use the same dough in the summertime as I use in the wintertime, it's two different products. Like my dough I use in the wintertime, if I use in the summertime, as soon as I take it out in 20 minutes, it's just gonna melt because I have a higher hydration in the wintertime. Or in the summertime, I need it to sit out for a little longer, so we lower the hydration a little bit. And just little stuff like that, playing, talking to people about another, like in Florida, so it's humid out there. So I'm sure your dough recipe would be it's a little bit less hydration than my dough recipe out here, where there's no humidity. Where I need that extra hydration to keep the dough stable if I want it. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
learning
it's
experience all the
funny.
time.
I just get, really just getting to the point where I'm starting to tinker. We made the same recipe for 20 something years.
Mm,
And it was good. The pizza's been good, the recipes work. But as I've started to learn and grow and meet more pizza makers, and the world got smaller through the internet and social media and podcasts and all of this, you start to learn, and it's like, wait, I can make the pizza better. I can get a little bit higher hydration, or I can do something a little bit different with a technique, or use a different flour and really improve my product. We didn't have that before because we were just doing what we did. And now, because people are so open, and everyone's just so, like, it's a community, right? Everyone's
hmm
supporting everybody and looking out, and you talk about guys like Wilhelm and Rico and Vito, and these guys are, you can call them. I love that.
Yeah.
And Vito's such a good dude. He's always there to teach, and I love that he's making more content now because he's showing his skill off, and he's so skilled.
Oh yeah.
I tasted that focaccia
Yeah.
that he and Billy had made, and it was
Yeah.
amazing. I'm like, all
Ooh.
right, I gotta get Billy Manzo's phone number. I gotta talk to Vito
Oh yeah.
and all of these guys because they're all so helpful. I love that the most about the competitions, and I've never competed. I'm afraid, and I don't know how you
Oh
guys
man,
do
don't
it.
be afraid.
How you
Don't be afraid.
take your dough across country, and you find your ingredients, or you try to mix. I was talking to John McCaffrey, and he's like, oh yeah, I was mixing in the hotel room. Yeah, went to the kitchen, borrowed some bowls and some
Yeah. Huh?
some mixing bowls and tools, and I'm like, dude, I could never. How did you even? That's so risky to me. So I have so
Yeah.
much respect for what you guys do, because that's so many things can go wrong in that process, but you show up and you make it look so easy on the.
Well, believe me, it's not easy. Like, there's a lot of nerves because especially like in the Florida competition. I like the ones that the expo puts on because the judges aren't staring you in the face and asking you questions. But yeah, when you sit there in like the Florida one, where you got Billy Manzo sitting there asking you questions while you're making a pizza, and you know who that is, and you're just like,
Yes.
yes, yes, maestro. Yes, maestro. I'm making a pizza. What am I making again? And because it just pops out of your head. Like, one of the things I wanted to do to my pizza was to put a brush olive oil on the crust before I put it in. But then Billy started asking me questions, and that olive oil and brush just flew out of my hand, and I totally forgot it was even on my table. And then as soon as I put it in, I go, "Yep, totally forgot that olive oil on the crust." Because it's like it's nerve wracking sometimes, and sometimes you just gotta find that character that you are, and portray that out there, and bring it to that level where you're not really thinking about how am I supposed to answer these questions. You're just playing your role where you're like, hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, this is my pizza. This is what I want to do. And chit chatting with them. And but yeah, sometimes that's hard. When you're getting all those questions while you're making a pizza, and then it just the more times you do it, the easier it gets. Believe me, the first time this when I went to the IPC, I was and right when I started making my pizza, oh man, I forgot his name. The MC at the Pizza Expo that's always asking people questions immediately came to me in my first competition back, and I was like, I'm making a pizza. It's traditional, you know. And now I try to be more colorful with my commentary and everything, and just try to relax. And I think that's the best thing to do. But, and the thing is about competing, like, I don't compete it to, like, try to be the best or try to be better than everybody. I just wanna see what other people in the industry that I consider my peers or people I've looked up to, what do they think about my pizza? And I always wanna get the score sheet to see what they said about my pizza or, like, how can I make it better? How can I make it more well-balanced? Because that's the main thing I go for is, a very well-balanced pizza where like you bite into it and you're like, oh wow, that's a good sauce. All I taste is sauce, or all I taste is cheese, or all I taste is pepperoni. I want you to taste the whole thing and it just like gels and melds together. So that's the main thing I'm going for.
Until, well, this was my in Orlando, was my first time ever judging as well. Always thought those guys, like, whoever got that job is the luckiest guy in the world. He's like judging a pizza competition.
Yeah.
But then Vito called me and he asked me to judge, and I'm nervous and I'm going in, and I didn't realize until Patty Taylor kind of pulled me aside. She goes, these guys really do care about the notes and your feedback.
Yes.
So don't just score. give them a little feedback and give your notes and your thoughts on it, because that's very important. And I didn't realize that. I'm glad that you said that, because,
Yes.
as someone who wants to continue to push and move the industry forward, I think that that was a good thing for her to pull me aside and tell me that and say, hey, look, they don't just want your score. Your score
Mhm.
is what, determines the winners and the losers, but or not losers, no losers, but determines the winners. But it also helps them get better, even if they don't score high, or even if they do score high, give your feedback, because it's important. So I'm glad that she did that. I'm glad that you brought that out here too, because that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. 'Cause especially, like, if you score low, you wanna know why you scored low. What, 'cause, like, even though I did so well at the expo in Ohio, they told me I could have even scored higher if I didn't have so much semolina on my crust. Because when I brought the crust out of my, bowl, I had a little bit too much olive oil in it, and that definitely crusted, the cornicione around the side with a little bit too much semolina, but it was already I tried to brush it off, but it stuck, because I had a layer of olive oil on
You
the
there?
crust, and I was like, "Okay, this is what it is." But, almost on every scorecard, just a little bit semolina, and you would have done better. A little bit semolina, you would have done better, and I said, "Okay, I know what I gotta do next time, the semolina," you know? Uh, like, my traditional pizza didn't do so well out there because I put a little bit too much garlic oil on it. We make our own infused garlic oil, and I put that on my we call it the award winner. It's our pepperoni sausage pizza with a little bit of infused garlic oil, and I put a little bit too much on, and they said that the garlic oil is overpowering, so it was not a well balanced pizza. So I know next time, either no garlic oil or just little drips. Like, because at the IPC in Las Vegas, I put just little drips. Where there, I was like, just went crazy with it and just all that. Let's put the garlic on
Going
there.
all in.
Yeah. So yeah, that wasn't a good decision. Plus, I was going against a lot of New Haven guys, and those guys pretty much took the top. I got 8th traditional there, and the New Haven guys got like 1 through 7 almost. It's awesome though, but yeah, I would do it if I was you, man. Just do it. Throw your hat in there and do it.
Now that you've kind of completed the U.S. cycle of competitions, do you feel like there's a difference regionally on how competitions are judged, or what works well in California? Does it fare well in Florida or Vegas, the same way, or is it a little bit different? 'Cause you did Vegas, California, Florida, Columbus,
Ohio.
kind of done
Yep.
them all. Did you have a favorite place, or do you feel like it's different or the same?
Running a pizza shop is not easy. You're juggling orders, staff, and everything in between. That's exactly why I teamed up with Thrive POS. They're a company that built their POS system for pizzeria operators who live this every single day. I've worked with their team before, and I've seen firsthand how focused they are on making tech that actually fix our workflow. It's not the other way around. So if you're ready to simplify your operations, streamline your online orders, and get better control of your shop, this is the move. Head on over to thrivepos.com/Pizza King to see exactly what they're doing for operators all across the country. Again, that's thrivepos.com/Pizza King and get the exclusive offer. Now let's get back to the episode.
I think all over the place, you might have judges that are looking for a certain thing. Pretty much across the board, I think it's the same. But you might have judges that are looking for a certain thing, and it's hard to, because I play by the rules. Like, I'm always a rules player. I look at the rules. I'm gonna make exactly what the rules are. But sometimes you might have a judge that's looking for something that what their taste looking for. Like, say you make a pizza that's all mushrooms, and you got a guy that doesn't like mushrooms to do your pizza. And sometimes that might affect the score. Or in Florida, my pizza in the pan, every one of the judges scored me 88 to 98, but then I had one judge that scored me 68. So I was like, what what did he not see that the other 7 judges gave me 88 to 98? So that's when you're racking your brain. But luckily that judge did come up to me and tell me he thought that the because I made it in Detroit, he thought it was a little undercooked in the center. I was like, okay, that's what he was looking for. He was looking for a more well done pizza. My thing is just go out and make the best thing you could do, and play by the rules, and hope for the best. That's all I can say. But all uh, uh, the pizza teams competitions, the X-Men competitions. Tell you right now, Brian, Jeremy, Michael, they're all class acts, and they put on very good shows. And the judging, I think it's good across the board. And I love those guys, and I love going to their shows.
It was fun. I love how much they prepared us as judges, for what was for on what to expect and how we should judge and how we should, look at these things. Hold on one second, Chris. Let
Go
me
ahead,
find
buddy.
Andy.
Go
I
ahead.
got a couple customers just came in. Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
Hey, lady, sorry about that.
Got to run a podcast and make pizza at the same time. This man's a worker.
There we go. Sorry. We're
No
open.
problem, man. Yeah, that's fine. As I was glad that you said that was 12 and it's 9 here because we don't open till 11. So I'm like, I'm all good. So I want to ask you
I
a
usually
question
do
though,
it at home. Talk to
because
me.
you just reopened a pizza place, right? You got
Yes.
back in the game. How do you like it being back in the game?
Love it. I love it. I missed it. Only out for 6 months, but it was so boring.
Tell me
Not
about
that
it.
I love making pizza. I was making pies at home and really starting to understand, more dough and fermentation and all of these things, hydration. I had fun playing pizza at home, but I like being out here. I like being with the team. I like, interacting with the guests and just getting
Oh,
out,
yeah, that's
man.
my favorite part.
This is like my happy place. This is my happy place. So, I got in here and thankfully the store is already open and existing. They were just struggling a little bit. So it became a good opportunity and I love it. I love it.
Awesome.
So I'm happy to be here, which is why you see me here now. Like I had to bring my podcast set up and do a little something from here because this is like home base now.
Awesome. Because that's the same thing. Like here, I pretty much, you know how it is. I'm here 7 days a week, and I pretty much try to leave, except for Friday, Saturdays, like our busy nights. I'm here, but like during the week when our slower days, I try to leave like 5 or 5, but then 3 sometimes, but then I'll come back and just help make pizzas during the rush. And they're like, "Boss, you can go home." I said, "I like making pizzas." So I come in sometimes
Make
just
pizza.
yeah, I come in at nighttime when I don't have to, just because I like making pizzas. And that's what it is. And just like you said, the people. I mean, that's the people that that come here. Because before pizza, I did fine dining, French and Italian fine dining. And the random person that comes in and eats your lobster Alfredo doesn't want to know who the cook is. They don't care. They just want to make sure the lobster Alfredo is big. But the people, when you get those diehard customers in the pizza place, they want to know who's making their pizza. They want to know where they're from. They want to know their family. You want to know their family. John comes in. Hey, John, how you doing? I'll get that pepperoni for you. You already know what he wants. I mean, that's the thing that I love about the pizza game. That's why pizza's love, pizza's family. The customers that come in, I love the banter with them or just messing with them because especially the people come in here because Pahrump is actually top 5 in retirement communities in the United States. So we get a lot of people from all over the United States. And we get a lot of East Coasters. And when they come in and get our pizza, they automatically, you're from New York? No, I'm from Chicago. How you making such a good pizza? Because I learned they automatically think that you gotta be from New York. They in their brain, you're from New York if you make a good New York style. And we do grandmas here in Detroit here as well. So when we get people from the Midwest that like that deep dish, and then when I tell them they're from Chicago, they're like, yeah, I see that. But it's just crazy about just yesterday we had a couple out from Vegas that heard about us that live in Vegas came out to try our pizza. What part of the Bronx you from? I go, I'm from Southside Chicago, and they just couldn't believe it. Oh, you ship the water in, don't you? I go, no, I use per up water, and they just can't believe it. And I think it's super funny.
They can't believe it's so good. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, because it's uh, everybody. There's different styles of pizza, and we try to stay as New York as possible. Super thin crust, build a stone, the right amount of cheese, the right amount of toppings. And some people, we get those people that there's no cheese on your pizza. There's cheese on our pizza. I'm sorry, you're used to Pizza Hut that's putting like that much cheese on our pizza. Well, we want our pizza to cook. Yeah, we want it well cooked. We want a well balanced pizza, and then we tell people, everybody has what they like. Like me, if you ask me, my favorite pizza is Neapolitan. I make a very good Detroit. I'll taste it every once in a while to make sure it's good. But me, I don't like a super thick doughy, super thick, pizza. I like the thinnest, the easiest to digest pizza. So like Neapolitan, then in New York, and then maybe right after that a grandma. But that's how I like it. And we
No, I was gonna say that's like me. I like New York style. I like to play with Detroit because it's popular and people like to buy it if we can run it. We have the right pans. But to me, New York style is the best style. I haven't tried Neapolitan. Well, not to make. I haven't tried making Neapolitan style pizza.
Mhm.
But I think we'll give it a shot. This operation is a little bit different though. It's my first time having a store that runs a conveyor.
Oh, you got an impinger?
which is a
Okay.
little bit different for me. I've been a deck guy my whole career, and I
Mm.
get here and we're running the conveyor. So like the first thing I do is like, we got to change how this oven cooks.
Yes.
So
I've
we spent
helped.
the first week just like tearing it apart, getting everything right, and getting that baked the way that we want it, so that it still
Yeah.
feels like it came off a stone. And that's
'Cause,
hard.
yeah,
That's
you
hard.
can still get that bake in there. It just yeah, like you said, it takes time. 'Cause, I've consulted with people and I've helped them get a conveyor belt working just like a deck oven pizza. And it just take, "Okay, let's make some pizzas. Slow it down, speed it up, higher heat, lower heat, slow it down." It's just finding
Yeah,
that sweet spot where you get that nice char on it still, and, and because I think me personally, I think a pizza has to have char on it, no matter what. It has to have that little char on it.
it's gotta be crispy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's gotta be crispy. When I get it, and I mean, believe me, there's been that night when I in my past, when those drunk nights where, you're younger and you want that drunk pizza that's very greasy, very cheesy, the cheese is dripping off everywhere, and that has its place. But yeah, if I'm sitting home with the family and I want good pizza, then yeah, I want a nice, crispy, little bit of char, New York style pizza. Typically two, maybe three toppings. It's like even here, we five toppings is the maximum. It's like, our large pizza is a 16-inch dough ball, and it's only 16 ounces. So when we stretch it out to 16, it's paper thin. So,
man.
yeah, it is thin. And it was funny because one of my friends in Vegas, when I told him we were opening a place out here, he said, "How big is your dough ball gonna be?" I says, it's gonna be, my large pizza is gonna be, because, I just stick to 16 because we have a Garland, and the deck's not that big. We got 3 decks, but they're not that big. So I wanted to be able to put 3 pizzas in each deck, so we went with 16-inch. But I told him it's gonna be 16 ounces of dough. And the first thing he said to me was, "Man, you hate yourself, don't you?" And I go, "I can open that easy." He goes he goes, "Yeah, but are your employees gonna be able to open that pizza?" And I was like, "I'm gonna teach them to." I mean, it took a good couple of months to get a few people here able to open the dough exactly how I open the dough, but we got there, and I got a really solid crew right now of some killers back there that are making some really good pizza. And, out front, really the only pizza job pool I have out here is people that worked at like Caesars or Pizza Hut, and I had to teach them how to make an official artisanal pizza, compared to like a Pizza Hut or Domino's. So that was the hard part.
You have to unlearn a lot of bad habits to
Yes.
transition from that world to a more traditional, you know higher end pizza. More,
Mhm.
just a better product. Nothing against what those guys do in the chains, and I'm a chain guy too. So like, but it's a totally different ball game when you're stretching dough and you're working with a deck and you're really baking to perfection. It's a different
Yes.
ball game.
And see, that's the thing is the whole reason I'm out here from Vegas is because I was transplanted out here because I was a corporate manager for a major pizza chain. I want to name them, but a major pizza chain, and I was opening their restaurants in Vegas, and then I just learned in doing that I just don't like the corporate life, and then I was like I wanted to get back to my roots, and then for a while I was just hopping around from pizza place to learn stuff to refine my skills more. And there's a lot of good mom and pop local pizza places in Vegas that are off strip that you can find that are making excellent pizza. Uh, and that's what I was doing for a while. But even to go back to like I said, we allow only a maximum of 5 toppings. And in the beginning, when we opened, people were like mad at us. Why? I want to. I would tell them, "Sir, madam, I would love to take all your money and put 20 toppings on this pizza, but then I know it's not going to be a good product. I know it's going to be a pizza salad. You're not even going to be able to pick it up, and then you'll probably give me a bad review because it's a mushy, doughy, and you
And you're
eaten
not
with a
you're not
knife
going
and
to
fork
come
pizza.
back.
Yeah, and you're not going to come back. I would rather, and our customers learn because sometimes you got to train your customers, especially if you're in an area where you're putting out a product that they've never seen before, and you kind of got to educate your customers on what you're doing and why you're doing things your way, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, I can see what you're doing." So no, my customers know. Like we have one of our specialty pizzas on the board is supreme pizza. You got your 5 toppings, your pepperoni, sausage, mushroom, onions, and green pepper. 2 of those toppings have oil in it because we use real meat. We use bulk sausage that has fat in it. We use real pepperoni that has fat in it, so that's going to release oil on your pizza. And then we have 3 toppings on it that's going to release water on your pizza. So do this just right. So when you get it, you can still pick it up and it's crispy. And then they've learned, okay, I want this supreme. I want to add a topping, so I got to take the topping off. So they already know they're coming in. They're like, okay, take the green pepper off, put pineapple on it. So
But
we're
you'll
and
you'll still let them customize,
oh
but up
yeah,
to the 5 toppings.
oh yeah,
Okay.
just up to the 5 toppings because like I said, we want to make sure that it cooks well for you. And that goes with our grandma, yeah, and our Detroit, which we even those pizzas we do put multi cheese on it because it's a stable table that can hold that cheese on it. So if you want a bunch of cheese, we tell them if you want a bunch of cheese on your pizza, get the grandma's Detroit. Those have more cheese on it. And that's why I said, like, sometimes we just have to educate. Like we even have on the wall because in the beginning when we opened, it still kills me to this day. Uh, our uh, our Yelp score it's only 3.9 because people were getting Detroits that have never gotten Detroit before, and they would give us a bad review on it because they got a pizza cake. I wanted a regular pizza. I didn't want a thick pizza. Why did I get this thick pizza?
You ordered a Detroit.
So we had to educate them what a Detroit is, and what a grandma is. And we even put on the wall like we put on nice poster size in frames descriptions of what this pizza is. And man, I even took a pizza off the menu. We had a pizza on the menu called the Pep, and it literally said pepperoni, Mike's hot honey. And we got a bunch of bad reviews because I ordered a pepperoni pizza and I got hot honey on it. And the ladies at the counter would ask him, do you want the pep or do you want a pepperoni pizza? I want the pep, hot honey. And then we got a bunch of bad reviews. They put honey all over my pizza. Why'd they do that? And then we always try to make it right. And we're like, sir, madam, you got the pep, right? "Oh, yeah. Well, that has hot honey on it. Why do you want hot honey? Okay, I'll make you another pizza.
On back. Come on
Yeah,
back. Let
and
me get
yeah,
you what you really
yeah.
wanted.
So we even just took it off the board. We took the pep off the board, and then we have it now where if you wanted hot honey, you can add it. Because you do have to work with your demographic too. You got to know that some people want catered to, and then it's like okay, if we're getting a bunch of bad reviews because the Peps has hot honey on it, and the customers are not seeing that, then we got to adjust to that. Instead of, well, they're stupid. We're going to do what we do and then make them mad. No, these people are your family. They're the ones come in and help you pay your bills. So you have to adjust to what they want. You know, it is what it is with that.
Say it all the time. The customer's not always right, but the customer does always pay. So we need to make sure we treat
Yes.
them with respect and
So we got to
try to
cater
get
to
them what
them.
they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And I tell my team all the time, like, it's not me paying you. It's it's them paying you. Like, let's take care of the customer. Don't worry about me. Like, I'm fine. Let's
Oh, yeah.
take care of those folks because they're the ones that are taking care of all of us. So, that's the approach to take. You use the same dough for your Detroit and your New York and your grandma?
My dough for the Detroit is different, but I use the same dough for the New York and the grandma. But I have a totally different dough recipe for the Detroit. But they both have foolishes.
I saw somewhere you like to do the poolish and you do like a 80/20 with it.
Yes. And what we do with that is for the bulk, the New York and the grandma, for the bulk of the dough, the 80%, we use Special Patent from King Arthur. I love their product. Never bleached, never bromated. It's low on the glycemic index. And then the 20%, I'm still playing with that because I started using Caputo Americana Super or Caputo Nuvola. And I'm trying to figure out which one, because one does a crispier crust and one does a more airy crust. So I'm like, I go back and forth for like a couple weeks. I go with the Nuvola, and I'm like, oh, I really like this. But then I'm testing the Americana. I'm like, oh, I really like that too. So I'm thinking leaning more towards the Nuvola to get the more airy. Because like if you see on our Instagram, a lot of our crusts have nice bubbles, and you could see the fermentation, and that's what I like. Because when you see a crust that's not properly fermented, there's not a bubble in it. There is just a flat crust,
Bubbles, no
no
blisters.
no nothing.
I need those blisters in my crust, man. I need to know that
Yeah,
somebody took care in this.
that's your payday right there. For me, that's my payday. When I make a crust and I do a new mixture and it comes out and it's just bubbled up. Oh, that's my heart right there when I see that. Because then you did your job well. Because like ours, whatever we do today, we'll know what happens in 3 days. And so
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
why we do a lot of testing because in 3 days I'll know if today worked. and we're back there writing time. We do the dough temp, write the time it was made, who made it, what time of the day it was made. Because here, like I said, we're in Nevada, it's a little hotter, so if we make dough past noon or 1 o'clock, that dough is going to be different than the dough we make at 9 o'clock in the morning because it's colder in the restaurant
Ah,
right now. And at 2 o'clock, if we make the dough, it's hot in the restaurant, it's hot outside, and you could totally tell. I could tell you by looking at my dough what time it was made the day 3 days ago. Oh, it was hot when you made this dough, wasn't it? But yeah, we do the 80%. I love special patty. That's what I was, and but my Detroit recipe is all special patty. We don't do the mix with that. And the hydration on that, man, my hydration on that's like 75% for the Detroit, and for the New York and the Grandma, my hydration I usually keep it between 59 and 62, depending on what the atmosphere is around here, how hot it's going to be outside, and if it's humid. Because like we got a few days where it was like rainy last week, and I had to compensate for that because when it's humid out here, when it finally rains and Pahrump, it stays humid and muggy for a minute, and I have to change my dough because of that, because of humidity.
it's gonna draw so much out of the air. So we're usually running like 58, 59% on our, on our dough. And we're a direct mix. It's pretty easy process. I've been
Mhm.
testing some foolish recipes and trying to get that hydration up closer to 70, but it is very humid and very hot here. It's been
Oh
cool
yeah.
this week, so my dough's actually looking really good right now.
Oh
And
nice.
they're bulk fermenting right now. So I can't wait to ball it up tomorrow and try it on Friday because I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. And it's around 70, right around 70%. And that's gonna be fun.
So I could tell.
I'm looking forward to playing. I love tinkering. I have a kitchen again. So I'm
Yeah.
like in here just playing around.
Because and I can tell by looking at your face, you get excited about it. This is the thing that excites me. Like, my wife thinks I'm weird because sometimes I'll just be sitting at. I don't know how you are, but me, I can't turn my brain off. It's hard for me to sleep. I usually have to eat some gummies to fall asleep. But before that happens, like I'll be sitting there making calculations on my phone and stuff like that. She's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm making a dough recipe." And she's like, "It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Go to sleep." I say, "But I was thinking about it, so I wanted to do it real quick." And then I'm gonna test this tomorrow. So I mean, like I tell people, people's, "Oh, it must be awesome, owning your own business or running your own business or anything to do where you're there at the business all the time." And I'm like, "Oh, it's kind of torture, but you got to find what you're excited about, to make it better for you." And me, it's tinkering. Like I have a fridge in the back. Go ahead.
I was
Oh,
gonna say I'm the same way.
I have a fridge in the back, and it's all of like stuff I'm tinkering with. Like it's my meats I'm messing with because I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do for my non. Because at IPC this year, I'm bringing in an employee. She's gonna do best cheese slice. Her name's Alyssa. She's an awesome pizza maker. She's gonna do best cheese slice. I'm gonna do non-traditional and traditional. And for my non-traditional, I'm either gonna do an oxtail as the main, or I'm going with my fine dining background. I'm going with either an oxtail in a demi glaze, or I'm gonna do a braised short rib. So I got that back there I'm playing with right now.
Yeah.
So
I got to make sure
uh,
I'm close to those.
hey man, I see you. I'll save you a slice of one of those. And I got the
I'll
meats.
be there.
Okay, I got you. I swear, you come see me. I got you. I'll save you a slice. And I got the meat down like I want it. And now I'm figuring out what do I want to pair with the meat that's going to be on it. And for the non-traditional, what I'm hoping for is when I go out to the thing next week with Vito, I want to make it into a Roman pizza. So like I got a month or two to get that down how I want to do it because I would really like to do it on a Roman style pizza for the non-traditional. But then that's something I'm going to be playing with and tinkering for the next couple months. That's what drives me is the tinkering.
That's a lot, and I love that too because I'm here, and honestly, the staff they don't need me. They don't need me to do the functions every single day, but they do need me to continue to push what we do forward.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, a couple of weeks, couple months, couple years ahead, and it makes it more fun. But it also makes the team a little bit nervous because they're like, "Well, what are you about to change? What are we about to do?" So even in this first couple of weeks, and we're just now in week 3, and I try to be very systematic about how we implement things here. I don't want
Mhm.
to scare anybody off with she's just going to change everything all the time. But also, these guys know me. I've been around. I live in this community. A lot of the customers know me. The team knows me,
Mhm.
so they know that I'm only here to try to make things better. But I am a tinkerer. My wife can't stand it because the living room changes every couple of months, or my office is organized totally differently every time I clean up, or I'm in the bed at midnight and I'm on Chat GPT. That's usually when I like to do all my Chat GPT sessions on my phone at
Mhm.
night. So she's like, dude, you just don't stop, and
Just go sleep.
that's my favorite part.
Yeah. Just like we just redid our sauce because forever because my New York style pizza has a lot of inspiration from Neapolitans. I like Neapolitan. So one of the things I was doing with our sauce is I was using San Marzano tomatoes, and I would get Chow Authentica. You know, but my problem with that is the tomatoes are very inconsistent. One week I would have the consistency I want, where they're nice and thick, and then next week I'd get them like not as thick, and then some weeks I'd get it was like water, and that affects the way your pizza bakes. And I kept talking to my Greco rep, and like these. And then she would tell me, well, I can't call Italy and tell them to make a better product. She told me, she told me the skinny. She's like, they don't send us their best tomato. They send us what they don't want, basically. And I was like, I don't want to hear that.
Get that.
I don't want to hear that. And she goes, well, that I'm just telling you what it is. And I said, well, I need consistency. She's like, okay, I'm gonna bring out a Stanislav rep to talk to you then. And I said, okay, cool. And she came out and we played like I just put on my Instagram, played a game that changed my mind. And I put out a can of Stanislav tomato. She put out a new product they're coming out with called San Nicola, which is it's a very good, bright tomato forward product. And we opened up my can of my chows and her can of her Nicola, and it was automatically right off the bat. It was the exact consistency I wanted. It had a very like right off the vine taste. It was very bright, very sweet because I go for that kind of sweet New York style. And I got their dolce sada, and I'm making a new product with that. And I tried to mimic the same taste I had on my other one, but now it's just very subtle differences, but it's the exact consistency I want. The sauce sits on top of the dough instead of it soaking into the dough. Because sometimes I'd get
Yeah,
the chows and they'd be so watery. As soon as I put it on the pizza, my dough turns pink because it just immediately sunk in. And
there's
I
so much
know
water in it. Yeah,
that pizza, I'm gonna have a hard time making. Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time making that thing crispy. And sometimes not even making it crispy because it just sunk in so much. But the new stuff, my customers are even like, "Man, did you change your dough? Did you change your cheese?" Because the sauce is sitting on top, so the cheese is kind of melding into the sauce, and the crust can actually do a thorough, consistent bake, and where it's coming out crispy every time. Yeah, I do the same thing where and just like a couple weeks ago, I just re-engineered our Philly cheesesteak to be even more authentic to Philly. Uh, and sometimes they're like, "What are you gonna change next, boss?" And I said, "Man, you gotta be a reed in the wind and bend with it sometimes because they know that this isn't one of those places where the same dough we made 10 years ago is the same dough we make today. It's not. It's constantly gonna be changing with the times, just like that. Like I do like standalone products. Like I use it for a lot of other stuff, but for the pizza, I wanted to use chow. But then she brought out this new product that wasn't even not even in the Greco order guide yet, and I was like, yes, I like that. I want that. And so I'm turning you on to something if you want to try it. It's called San Nicola. Try that out. It's an awesome tomato if you want to play with
man.
that. But
And
you gotta
I
get
love
used to
that
change in
attitude
this
of being
business.
able to change and adapt, and honestly, you become a pioneer in that way because when you see something first, or you're not afraid to try it, others start to flock to it. So kudos to
Mhm.
you for that. That your oxtail pizza. I'm hearing you talk about the oxtail and or the braised beef. How much of that actually makes it to the menu? Those sound like $100 pizzas. How much of it actually makes it to the menu from your
Uh,
competition?
so some of our guests are very lucky because what I do is I'll put it out for slices and they can have it for $5. I even had for my pizza that I got fifth place out. It was a black truffle pizza with fresh shaved black truffles. And I had it out here for slices. And then they have, and I'm telling you right now, the black truffle that was on that pizza is more than $5.
Ain't cheap.
Just because I want them to taste it. Like this is what we're doing. You know, I'll do that, and they'll come because I just like to play around. Like I made carnitas the other day, and I was putting it out on pizza, We had barbecue. It was carnitas, our cheese blend, barbecue sauce, and banana peppers. And I wanted to make a barbecue carnita pizza. And they're like, "This you made this?" I go, "Yeah." And they're like, "I could buy this for $5 a slice?" Yeah, because that's the main thing is I want people to see pizzas and taste pizzas that they've never even thought was on a pizza. Like one of our pizzas, I call it the pickle chicken. So we got this pizza I put out for slices all the time because I like to put out stuff for slices, see what will sell because we're gonna start doing a pizza of the month too. And we have this thing called I call the pickle chicken, and I make a buffalo garlic sauce, and then all the pizza is chicken tenders, pickles, our cheese blend, and buffalo garlic sauce. And whenever that's out there, I sell 3, 4 of them. Whole pizza's like gone like that. And on a Friday night, they'll be calling, yeah, Friday night we'll get calls. Can I get that pickle chicken? Oh man, it's not on the menu. We're not making that for slices because we're not set up for. We don't just have the stuff for it. I usually just make it for when we're doing
We
slices.
have to stock a line and make that
Yes,
pizza.
yes, and so that's going to be our first pizza of the month is the pickle chicken. You know, because I just like to experiment and see what people like. But yeah, you'll catch those specialty pizzas out there on slices, and then every once in a while, I'll say we're making 10 on Friday of this pizza we're going to go to a competition with, and it's going to be slightly more, a little bit more expensive. Like, because the thing is, if I was going to do the oxtail, because oxtail, it's oxtail and a demi glaze, and it's a chocolate chipotle demi glaze. And like, if I was going to sell that pizza with, a demi glaze takes like 2 days to make. The oxtail took 8 hours to cook. And if I was going to sell that pizza, a whole pizza like that's going to be like a $50 pizza. Not a lot of people are going to pay for that. So sometimes we'll do like we're selling 10 today. The first 10 reservations we got for it, they're your pizzas. And that's how we usually do that. But like I said,
Yeah.
a lot of times you can just come and buy a slice for $5 and get it, and people are just amazed by that.
I like that. And that was one of my questions was how do you practice for competitions without, interrupting or disrupting your consistency in the restaurant? And I think that slice approach is a great way to test it
That's how I
out
do
and
it.
get some fresh, just a fresh perspective on it. That's pretty cool.
Because yeah, we open up.
I
Like I
can't
said, we
wait.
open up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Were
was
you
gonna
about to
say
say
I
you can't
can't
wait?
wait. We don't start doing slices here until next month after Super Bowl when we get the
Okay.
counter
Ooh,
redone and we could put out a
Super Bowl.
slice case. I should not wait for that. I can't wait to start doing that same thing.
And that's the best time you practice because uh we like I said, we have slices on the counter at 11, so we start cooking slices at 10:30. But before that, it's just low prep and stuff like that. But that's my time where I can have my special stuff on the counter, make me a couple sliced pizzas, put it out there, then put the stuff up back in my special back fridge. Because yeah, they all call it my special fridge back there. And then and see if people like it. And that's the true test is if you got your regular customers coming in, slamming your pizza, like eating the hell out of it, and well, that works. That's going on the board. That's how a lot of our pizzas, like our named pizza for the place, like you wouldn't even think that this is a good pizza, and we sell a ton of it. It's called the Mia Ava chicken tenders, onions, banana peppers, barbecue sauce, and hot honey, and we sell a ton of it. And people at first people are like, "That's good." I go, "Try it," and then as soon as because we'll have it out for slices, and as soon as they try it, they're like, "Okay, give me a whole one for home." Or our
I think that's
Hawaiian.
the way to get them over the hump, right? Is to have them try it because if you let people do what they're used to, they'll just order cheese or pepperoni.
But yeah, I call our slice counter our barrier to entry. If you want to taste our pizza and know what it tastes like, or taste one of the weird pizzas we have on our board or anything like that, there's a slice right there. You can try it for $5. I mean, that's cheaper than going to McDonald's. It's slice and drip, $5. And then if you don't like it, you're only out $5. And that's how we see
$5.
it as. Yeah, and then a lot of times, if you really don't like it, I'll give you a slice of something else. I don't care. Just to keep you in here, showing you that we're here to make you happy. We're not here just to make money, and that's the main thing. Is we want people to be happy. Making money is nice, but they're not. If we ain't making money, if they ain't happy, and that's how I look at it. But like what like especially like our we have a piece called the pickled pep where we get fresh jalapenos and we pickle our own jalapenos. It's like if you ever heard of have you ever heard of cowboy candy? It's a sweet pickled jalapeno that's usually in Texas, and we make a pepperoni pizza with that pickled jalapenos, and we have that out for slices so people can taste it because they're not used to going to some place that pickles their own jalapenos. So a lot of people are like, well, what does it taste like? A lot of times I'll just go get a little 2-ounce cup, put some in there, and like here. and taste it. But we put it on the pizza,
Here's a sample.
and yeah, people love it. That's one of our top selling pizzas is pickled pep. It's even better with hot honey because I like my flavor profile. I like sweet and spicy. I love those going together, sweet and spicy.
Jalapeno, banana pepper, pineapple. Those are some of my favorite
Mhm.
combinations.
Or like
Hello, how you
our
doing? We do not serve slices yet.
soon.
Come back next month though. We're redoing the counter. We'll have slices. I do a little personal pizza. It only takes like 7-8 minutes. You could get yeah, a little small pizza just for you. If you want to share one slice with me, I'll take one. All right. Yeah, he got you. He'll take care of you.
Awesome. But no worry, man. You got to run a business. But like our Hawaiian pizza, is a lot is different. I wanted to go to a true Hawaiian pizza, so our Hawaiian pizza has fried spam and pineapple on it. Because the crazy thing about out here in Nevada is there's a huge Hawaiian population, and when we put that on the board, they're like, "You got spam on a pizza?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I got spam on a pizza," and then we sell a ton of those. The trick is you got to fry it first. You put just spam on a can on a pizza, no good. You got to have that crust on it.
Fit up a little bit, then put it on. That's cool. I never even thought about that. We do like not a traditional Hawaiian. We just do ham and pineapple, but I like to add a little spice to mine. This it's just better that way.
Throw little jalapenos on there.
Yeah, exactly. Jalapeno,
hmm
banana pepper, something like that.
hmm
So you guys opened back in 2024.
Yes.
What was it like leading up to that? Like, were you nervous?
Oh yeah. Okay, well, here's what we did first. So the great wife that I have, one day out of nowhere, this is 2020, out of nowhere, she said, 2021, 2022. She said to me, I was frustrated coming home. Head chef, I forgot where I was the head chef at. I don't remember. Came home and I was just frustrated. And then she said, "You know what? Aren't you getting sick and tired of improving other people's restaurants? Remaking other people's menus, put stuff on the menu that's selling a ton, and yeah, you get paid well, but you're not getting that money." And I said, "Yeah, I'm getting sick of it. You kidding me?" She was like, "Let's open our own business." And I said, "Really?" I was like, "You're down for that?" And she said, "Yeah." And luckily, she's a realtor, and we're doing well. And I said, "Okay." So the first thing we did was we opened a food truck, and we were doing just 6x6 Detroit style pizzas. And the reason I did that because I could pre-bake all the crusts, and then it's easy just to whip it out on the truck, put the topping on, throw in a little. I had a little Baker's Pride, that little 2-decker Baker's Pride you could buy for a food truck, and that went awesome. And then a guy I used to work for in the past, he said, he saw how well it was, and he was begging me forever. He's like, "I want to open a restaurant. I want to put you in charge. I want you, do this, do that, and it's your baby. You do whatever you want." And I kept saying no because I didn't really want to partner. If I'm going to do something, I wanted to do it on my own. But then finally, he talked me into it, and I said, "Okay, well, you're the man, but everything is my idea. I don't want to hear anything about, well, this is too expensive, or I don't think people will like that." I said, "I don't want you messing with the vision of everything I put on the menu." And the first thing, I mean, we did butt heads because he wanted to have pasta on the menu because every pizza place has pasta, and I said, "No, I don't want to do pasta." So we had pasta on the menu for about 3 months, and then I finally took it off because I really wanted to do a really good smash burger, and we do a really good smash burger. But yeah, and then we opened up 2024 here, and yeah, in the beginning it was a nightmare because really, y- you can train your staff as much as you think they're trained, but just like a fight, as soon as you open that door and you get hit in the mouth, all the planning and training went out the window, and you gotta meet the pressure. And for the first, man, I want to say 2-3 months, I was here from open to close. I had my hands on everything that left the kitchen until I can get everybody trained to the point that I can step back. Not step back, I'm not leaving, but I'm watching you now. I'm sitting at the pass looking at everything come out. But yeah, I mean, that's basically how that started. I mean, if I didn't have the good wife in the background that finally gave me pushed me off the cliff to see if I could fly or smack
Ready
the
to do
bottom.
it. You got it.
Yeah, and then ever since then it's been an awesome roller coaster ride. But we had good reception. The only problem is, like I said, from a small town, so a lot of people just didn't get, just didn't understand our food. And I know that you have those head chefs who are like, well, they don't understand my food, so they're dumb, and I'm not like that. I'm the head chef where, okay, you don't understand my food. Let me figure out what you like or help you understand what we're doing here. Instead of saying you're stupid, get out of my restaurant. I'm not, remember, did you ever watch Seinfeld, the soup Nazi? No soup for you.
No soup for
I
you.
was no pizza for you. Get out. I'm not that guy. I'm like, well, okay. You didn't like the Detroit. Let's figure out what you do like. Okay. You might not like our style of pizza. How about our smash burgers? We ball up our own patties, we pickle our own onions for it. We make our own garlic butter for to toast the buns. Maybe that's your alley. Oh man, I love your burgers. Okay, yeah, we got a customer now. They love our burgers. Or our wings. We got people that line up for our wings. We do a fresh wing, never frozen. We do a 24-hour marinade in it before we even par cook it, and everything like that. We got people just come for wings, so you got to find that niche where you're at. It's like, I mean, I like our pizza, but I'm gonna sell you something. I know I got something you like. So
Something
that's,
for you. Bring the
yeah,
whole
I got
family.
something. Yeah, we got meatball sandwiches, we got chicken sandwiches, we got everything, the accoutrement that, restaurants have. We do, like, if I told you the prices on some of my stuff, you think I'm insane because in Trump, we got to, even though I could make more money because I should be, like our antipasta salad. We have real capicola on it. We have real mortadella on it. We have salami, artichokes, Kalamata olives. I only charge $12.99 for it. Where I know places in Vegas for that same salad, they're charging 20. So I
So
make a
yeah,
little less.
that's $18.99, $20
Yeah,
salad all day long.
well, yeah. But here, I can't sell that because it's a smaller town, and the people out here aren't used to paying a premium price for it, even though it's better food. So I have to find creative ways to make money other places with stuff I sell to make up for stuff like that. Just like all of our toppings, no matter what the topping is, it's 250. I'm going to put mortadella on your pizza for 250 because does it cost me 250 to put onions on your pizza? No. So you got to find that right balance where does it cost me 250 to drizzle barbecue sauce on your pizza? No. But that's how I make up for putting the mortadella on your pizza and the capicola on your
Yeah,
pizza.
and it's so simple for the customer that way. We actually
Yeah.
just that's so funny you said that because we just made that change because here we that was and it hasn't happened yet. It's coming at
Mm-hmm.
February 6 or 8, something like that, whenever we get the new POS system. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
we got to simplify the toppings. We got
Yeah.
premium toppings and regular toppings and
Mm.
all of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's too much to explain and too much to figure out. Let's just our toppings. This is how much it costs for this size, and this is how much it costs for this size. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what topping you get, and we'll figure it out. But there's just balance. And like you said, onions don't cost $3 but yeah, steak might cost $3 for me to put steak on your pizza. But it's okay. Everyone's not gonna get steak, and everyone's not gonna get onions, and
Yeah.
everyone's not gonna add toppings, but we
No.
gotta keep it
Yeah.
simple for the customer and for the staff because it's uncomfortable for the team to try to explain to you,
To walk them through
why
that.
it costs yeah, it costs $2 for onions, but it cost me, uh, 3.50 for bacon and all, like, dude, this
Yeah.
come on, let's
They
just
don't.
make
They
it
don't.
simple.
But first, they don't care. They don't care about what it costs you, and it's just confusing. And that's one of the things I train in the front house is, especially if a new person comes in here. When a new person comes in, it's an adventure, and you're the person walking them through the adventure. Okay, they come in and you see them looking at the menu, but I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not reading the menu because all they see is words. Everything's new. It's a lot of stimulation. There's lights and pizza everywhere and people everywhere. They're looking at your menu, but they're not digesting your menu. Oh, that's when the front house steps in. Well, what do you like? I can help you find what you like. Oh, you like a thinner crust? Go with this. What kind of toppings do you like? What are you into? Oh, okay, we'll get this for you. Okay, because yeah, you got to kind of walk them through that, everything where okay, I got 3, 4 different prices for my toppings, and I got all these different specialty. Like me, I mean, I got a bunch of specialty pizzas, but you can get them in New York, Detroit, Grandma. That's confusing right there. I got 3 different prices for different pizzas. Why does your grandma cost $5 more than your New York? Because it's a 16 by 16 pizza, 16 slices. So you got to explain that to them. Because if you don't, all they see is 3 different prices for pizzas. I'm going to go with the cheapest option, which is the New York, you know? So why is it cheaper? Explain that. But that's how I see it is every person comes through, you got to kind of grab them by the hand. That's new. You got to kind of grab them by the hand and walk them through how you do things because most people, the general normie public, thinks that every pizza place is the same. So you got to explain to them why you do things different. That's like I said in the beginning when we got these Yelp reviews because we weren't explaining to them we put pepperoni on the pep. We weren't explaining to them a Detroit style pizza is a thick, a 2-inch pizza, you know. So and then we had to adjust to that and tell people, hey, buddy, let's go on this little adventure together. This is how we do our pizza, and because we're not the other mom and pop down the street that does it different. And that's the main, lower that barrier to entry, lower those hurdles for them to understand what you're doing, and it makes it easier process for your front of house staff, especially because they're the ones that are going to carry the brunt of why are you doing it this way. And if you just look at them blankly and don't explain it to them, they're just going to walk out mad, because
And
I
they
even
won't
had
come
a
back.
customer.
They don't give you
Yeah,
a chance to fix it.
yes. Like we had, and I was trying to get the front of house to grab. We were busy. I was trying to get her to grab the guy because we had an older gentleman come in, never been to a New York slice style shop in his life, saw the slices sitting on the counter and thought those were like display pizzas, and thought if you ordered one of the slices, you would get like a fresh made pizza right out of there instead of us taking a slice and put it in the oven and warm it up for you. And he basically ran out saying that we were trying to serve him an old piece of pizza because he's never been to a slice shop. And I tried to get her to grab him because I would have to explain to him this is how slice shops works. By law, we can have the slices out on the counter for 4 hours, and then in that and our pieces are never there for 4 hours. And we take a slice and we warm it up in the oven and we give it to you, and it's going to taste like just like it came out of the oven the first time I made it. And some people you got to tell them that 'cause they don't understand. They've never seen a slice shop, especially like our locals here that live in Pahrump. A lot of them never been really out that far out of Pahrump. They've never this whole slice shop thing is new here. They've never seen this. The closest thing they've been to a slice shop is, Maverick gas station, picking up a slice of pizza at a gas station. That's their closest. Where it has that direct heat lamp on it, drying the hell out of it. We don't do that because we want a good product for you. So, but yeah,
Mountain of cheese on it.
yes, amount of cheese to keep it moist and everything like that, because that's the thing is with our pizza, if we keep it out, it's so thin that it'll dry up and curl up and look like crap. Our pizzas never do that because we never have them out there. I don't even let them have if a pizza's been out there 2 hours, I pull it. And we don't have to do those. I told them if it's out 2 hours, pull it. And then what we do, one of the cool things we do, not trying to brag or anything, but every night, whatever slice is left over that day, I go find a homeless person and give it to a homeless person. So we make sure that it's going somewhere. Or we do a thing where someone comes because we'll put them all in a box, or we do have a thing where it's a funny thing that our locals do. Somewhere people come in a lot, they'll come in and they're like, you got a mystery box, and we got a mystery box, and it has at least 3 or more slices in it, and it's $5, a $5 mystery box. We because we had the only reason we started that is we had a customer. He said he saw that it was a 16-inch box just filled with pizza sitting on the counter. Where I was going to go and find some homeless people to give it to, and he goes, "I'll just buy that." And I go, "Okay, $5." I know I had like 12 slices of pizza in it, and he goes, "Fine." He goes, "I'll buy that mystery box." So we started that day forward. If someone comes in and wants it, it's the mystery. You don't get to look. I'm just telling you that it's more than 3 slices, and it's $5.
Stealing that. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
stealing that.
Oh,
I
take
love
it, man. Take it. Yeah, but take it. People will do it too. It's a fun thing to do because then you'll even have people come in and they didn't make the mystery box, but then they're like, well, while I'm here, I'll get some pizza. I missed the mystery box, but I'll definitely get some pizza or a meatball sandwich or something. But it's just a fun game we play with the customers. It's not done to make money. It's just done to make fun, have
just
fun with
just
stuff.
for the experience. Man,
Yes.
that's too cool. Dude, you're a lot of fun, and I love what you're doing. One of the
Thanks,
things I
buddy.
always like to do here is give some advice to someone who is crazy enough to try to go into this business on their own and you
Mhm.
know open a pizzeria or start a truck or even start baking from home and trying to navigate this business. What advice would you give to a new operator or someone who's potentially thinking about getting into the pizza game? What advice would you give?
My advice is be passionate. Yeah, like more than 100% passionate about what you're doing, because a lot of times you're working on passion alone. Like there's those times where I'm tired because all the sports I was in my life, I don't even have an ACL in my left knee, and it's like and all my joints are destroyed. And there's times where I just want to quit, but the passion drives me. Be very passionate. Please have a game plan. Like don't try to just wing it. Have a game plan and try to stick to it. Try to get people under you that you train 100% to help you out, to take things off your plate. I worked for so many people in the past that were like, the old school pizza makers that just want to teach you enough so you know how to do your job, but you don't know how to do their job because they're afraid you're going to open a pizza place down the street. I never understood that because as working in fine dining as a head chef, I want all my tools in the kitchen, my aces in their places. So my job isn't that hard, you know. Have that game plan, get a good staff and train them well. But the main thing is passionate because at the end of the day, when I go home and I've been beat down all day, like today, I got here 7 in the morning to put the truck away. I gotta do another order for another truck tomorrow. Uh, and then I have to prep. I have to make pizzas all day till about 6 o'clock. That's all passion. I'm telling you right now, that's passion in the gas tank. Because at the end of the day, this is only our second year, and we had a record-breaking year this year, but we're still paying off debt. So it's like I'm not really paying myself. I only pay myself $12 an hour. My staff makes more than I do. Because they make we do 13 to $17 an hour plus everybody's in a tip pool. They average 18 to $28 an hour. And I only make 12. I'm not in the tip pool. So if you're not working on passion and you don't have the love for the game, you're gonna burn yourself out because if you come in this game and you're thinking I'm just gonna make crap tons of money because I don't own a restaurant, reality is gonna smack you in the face really hard, especially because you got to develop a following, and that takes sheer passion sometimes, the will to do
Take
it.
time.
Yeah, it takes time, especially like when I saw what we made last year, I'm like, wow, we made that much, and I was just like, my bank account looks like garbage, you know? And then you got the wife at home. So when are we gonna finally make money? Because yeah, like we our net sa- our net sales last year was just under 1 million. And then when I tell people that, they're like, "Oh, you got Escalade in the parking lot or nothing?" I was like, "No, man, I'm driving my 2021 Dodge Ram 1500, man." I was like, because a lot of people don't know how much it's gonna cost you're gonna incur opening a place. And like our place, they're in Pahrump. There's no ready-made. I wish I had a ready-made restaurant to go to. We had to build everything from the hood to like plumbing and digging the concrete floor. I mean, you know how much it costs to put a pipe in a concrete floor? Oh my God! And or a foot, and you know how much a 15-foot hood is to put up? Yeah, I mean, it's just, so we're aggressively paying down the debt, and we should be paid off within a year and a half. And that's passion driving that. It's like I know for a year and a half I'm not making any money, so and that's the passion that drives that, that's my main advice again. It's just have passion for the game and have a game plan. Have your menu locked in. Uh, I'm telling you right now, be willing to make a change. If you got something, the first thing I tell every sous chef that's underneath me, never fall in love with stuff on your menu. If it's on your menu, it's not making money, take it right off. You might like it. Everybody underneath you might be kissing your butt and tell you they like it. But if the customer doesn't like it, should not be have take up any real estate on your menu. It's just wasting space and you're wasting product. Like I'll even give you an example. I'm from Chicago. One of the things I grew up on was pizza puffs. You go to any bodega in Chicago, and they have pizza puffs. And my mom would always throw me a couple dollars, so I wanted to bring pizza puffs out here. I would sit on a case of pizza puffs for a month and a half in the freezer. And I was like, there is no reason that should be in my freezer right now when I can put something in its place that's going to make more money. So be willing to change your menu when you know it's not making money. Because I've worked for a lot of guys who sit there and are like beating their head against the wall. Why isn't it selling? Why isn't it selling? And I always say, why don't you just change it? No, I'm not changing it. I'm passionate about this.
They don't want it.
Like,
It ain't selling because they don't.
yeah. So yeah, be willing to change, passion, and have a set game plan, and be willing to change that game plan if it's not working. That's my main dues.
That's your advice.
Yeah.
Passion, planning and preparation, and people. That's your
Yes.
advice. Take care of your people, train them
Is
up,
in place.
have a game plan. Yeah, I love it, man.
Because the thing
Everything in
is,
its place.
you can hire somebody forever ago. This is a goofy little story. Forever ago, I hired this girl at a restaurant in Chicago to be a server. Terrible server. Terrible server. I'm gonna tell you right now, that 90-pound girl was the best dishwasher I ever had. She was in that dish pit, washing dishes around 300 faster and move faster than 300-pound ex-convicts I hired. And you know, and she was just like, and I was just like, damn, I found my ace in the place right there. You know, so you got to be willing to do that
Yeah,
too. It's like fine, like I got a person I hired as a saute cook, one of the best pizza makers I have, because transitioned her over. So let's make pizza. Way better at pizza than that because she's more passionate about making the pizza. So then that's the thing too, is, you know, find aces in the place and find the right people for the right job.
that's good leadership advice too. You know, be willing to, don't give up on people. Be willing to make a move,
Yeah,
make an adjustment.
yeah. And I try to.
And
I'd
it's a,
like you have to do something for me to let you go. You gotta do something very wrong and very wrong a bunch of times where where I just say, okay, you're just not getting it. You know, you're not going with the flow. Because like I believe in second, third, fourth chances, and and I know everybody's got a family, everybody's got bills to pay, and I really, man, you gotta do something very wrong for me to let you go, especially like all the time and effort you pour into a person to train them. At the end of the day, that's your time and that's your money. So it's like, excuse me, I really don't want to get rid of people if I don't have to, especially if you know they're one of your aces in the places. You know, sometimes you got to take them
a
out,
lot of money
have
to replace people.
yeah, take them out to eat, talk about the problems, what's going on, what don't you like, what can I fix for you, what can I help you with to make it a better work environment for you. But you know, you got to think of your employees as your family too, because they are your families. You especially when you're the business owner, you're with them more than your family. You know, I see these people more than my 8-year-old son, so you know I have to treat them right. You know, let them eat pizza.
That's great advice. What's next up for Mia Ava this year? I mean, I know we'll see you out on the competition floors.
Yes,
Sounds like you guys have been you know at a steady pace with growth since you opened. What are your plans for this year?
this year, man, would the the boss is thinking about another location. But my thing is it can't be in Peru. It has to be in Vegas. So that's something we're looking at. Okay. It has to be the right spot. Because we're actually getting people out from Vegas to come out here a lot to come try our pizza. And every person, why aren't you in Vegas? Why aren't you in Vegas? You're so much better, you know, and we want to do that. And then we know we can charge a look because we get people from Vegas, you know, even our locals that come here all the time and they're like, or even my providers, why haven't you raised your prices yet? All those awards you're winning, you should raise your prices. I was like, because I can't raise my prices out here. But I know that in Vegas, our prices could be more aligned with what we should be charging. You know, I'm not trying to be like Sary's or anything, charging $50 for pizza. But, you know, our 16.99 cheese pizza, our 16.99 cheese pizza, you know, that's I'm putting, you know, 10 ounces of grande on there. You know how much 10 ounces of grande cost, you know, and then we're using Caputo flour, special patent flour. So we want to break into a location where we can charge more effectively for what we make. Because at the end of the day, it is a volume business too, but we could be making a lot more money if we're in an area where we can charge what we should be charging. You know, like our smash burger fries. We use fresh meat, real butter, pick our own onions. You know, we charge 10.25 for smash burger and fries. I mean, that's you know out here it's like you know that's crazy. You know, it's a good price for what we're charging here. So that's the plans. Hopefully, that within next year we start like really uh breaking ground on something like that. Hopefully, and buying a new oven.
I'm
I
looking
was talking to
forward to
Mari
seeing it.
Forney. I was talking to Mari Forney already about that last guy. The guy they're like they're out there
You're gonna
my
want it
sous
when
chef.
you come back from pizza.
Oh yeah. Oh well, they oh, man, the guy man, my sous chef, she's making some pizza knots. Uh, they said because one of my challenges at competitions was I was not used to cooking in a Mari Forney oven. And a couple times my pizzas were underbaked because I was not used to where their hot spots are and how their top heat and their bottom heat work. And I was talking to the guy about it because, like, if I'm doing something wrong, I want to know. So I was talking to the main more authority guy at two competitions, and he said, Chris, man, we'll fly you out if you want to play with our ovens. And then I just messaged him. I'm like, well, you don't have to fly me out. I'm going to be out there next week. I want to play in your ovens. You can take as much time as you want in them. because I really would like to buy a Mariforni oven, but I really wanted to get it down how they cook first because I got like I said, I got a triple deck Garland, and that thing cooks totally different than a Mariforni. In that oven, I could cook a pizza with my eyes closed and get the right char and right bubble on it. In a Mariforni, I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure how and then like I said, I'm a student of the game, so how do we do this? How's your oven cook? And my thing is, if you're in a deck oven, you're always putting it in the back because that's the hottest spot. Well, last
That's a hot
competition,
spot.
I was like, how come I keep putting it in the back and it's cooking like crap? And he goes, oh, you're putting it in the back. Our heating element's up front. Never thought the heating element was up front. But that right there just
Yeah,
flipped
and
my game.
those little details, yeah, you need to
Yeah.
know.
I was like, now I'm putting the pizza up front every time I go into my corny when I wanted to cook, well done. So, but yeah, that's the name. Pizza oven, pizza oven, and definitely working on, Mia Ava too. So yeah, that's hopefully the plans this year. Get more debt paid off. That's the main plan. Yeah.
Yeah, number one, pay off more debt.
Yeah. Yes.
Start to look at expansion and even some new equipment. Those are all great goals, and I'm looking forward to see you just knock those off, man. I'm
Thank
a
you,
big
man.
fan of what you do. I was so happy to meet you in Orlando
Thank
and
you.
see you compete and do that, man. You show a lot of love. You're a super humble guy to be such a winner, right? And I think that's important
That's
because
my wife.
you're
That's my wife
approachable and
that
people
did
can
that to
talk to
me.
you.
You gotta have that person
I'm
behind you
glad
because
she
believe me,
did.
yeah, when I was younger, very competitive in basically martial arts. I was that guy where as soon as I won, I wanted everybody in the world to know I won and I was the best and then did everything. But when you get older and you get that right person behind you that mellows you out and tames your demons, it's a better person. But yeah, I mean, the main thing I want to say before we cut out is going to these competitions and competing against people I've looked up to. Like, 'cause the first person I competed up to that I looked up to was back in the day at the Neapolitan competition. I was competing against Vito Iacopelli, and and the whole time I was making Neapolitan, I was looking up to him and
Yeah.
texting him and over YouTube and stuff like that, and then I get to compete with him. Or last competition, Billy Manza comes up to me and is talk about how well my pizza was. He just wished it was cooked a little bit more, but it was the most well balanced and all this. I was like, I almost started crying. I was like, I got Maestro Billy Manza telling me how good my pizza is. It's like you never think when you do this, you're gonna have pizza people taste your pizza that you've been looking up to, and you're like, man, I wish I was 20% as good as them. And then they're eating your pizza. You're like, that's just like, what world did you ever think that was gonna happen? And then they're telling you how it could be better or how it was good or how it was, this and that. And I'm just like, I never thought I would sit there in front of these people and they could sit there and touch even look at my pizza. Like I'm happy that I get a like from one of these guys when they like one of my pizzas. So yeah, it's just a very surreal thing. And it humbles you, and being older, but even that humbles you when you're like these major players in the game or like when here, the last one. I'm a storyteller. So when right before they announced the winners for the IPC, I was like, because out of the five, I was trying to get in the finals, and right before that, Tony G for Capo, I always wanted a picture with him. He's right there, so I go up to him like, "Hey man, can I get a picture with you, man? I love you, Tony." And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then I happen to have a Grande patch, and Grande gave me a patch. He goes, "I remember when I was the only one that had one of those." And I was just like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying to I'm a squirrel trying to get a nut in your universe, man." And then so we met each other, and then 5 minutes later, they called me up for second place. He looks at me, he goes, "Man, good job!" And I'm like, "Oh, did they call me? I don't,
Cody
that just
G.
like to see, yeah, Tony G clap and say good job." I was just like, and then I just stopped in my place for a second and then took that in, and then I was like, "Oh, yeah, I won something." And I ran up there. But, just to like, I never thought Tony G would clap for me and tell me good job on winning. So, yeah, it's just that just kinda removes the ego from you. You're like, "Maybe I am good at this." You almost kinda get that, imposter syndrome where you're like, "Is this really me doing this? Is my pizza good? Is it good?" So, yeah, it's very surreal, man, very surreal.
I'm glad to know you. Happy to have met you, and just looking forward to. Hey, put me in the group chat with you and Wilhelm on WhatsApp.
I will.
I
I'll
got
get you in there.
I got dope questions and all that. So I want to talk to you guys.
And please, man, like I tell anybody that sees this, hit me up on Instagram. Like I've had several people ask me stuff. I'm not one of those guys. I mean, I'll tell you right, like just like no, my my dough recipe is on my wall in the back there. It's out for everybody to see. It's like I put my product out here for everybody to see what we use. It's like I'm not. I mean, we all use the same stuff. We all do. It's just different ways putting it together. And I'm very giving. Like
How you process it? Yeah.
if you have a question, please drop me a line on Instagram. I'll definitely answer it. And if I can't answer it, I'll put you with someone that can. Because that's what this game's about. Is we all want the tide raises all boats. We all want to be really good at this game. But like every week I go out to Vegas to get product for us, I stop at a pizza place I've never been at, just eat pizza, talk game with the people and stuff like that. Be willing to talk to other pizza people and not have that old mentality where I'm not sharing about my secrets with anybody because I got the ultimate secret or whatnot. The old school way of thinking with stuff. I'm not like that at all. I want to help everybody because it makes us all good. If pizza quality is raised across the board everywhere, then it's awesome. I like that. I like to
It
go to
helps
other
us
places
all. It
besides
helps
me
the
to
whole
eat.
community.
Yeah, helps everybody, man. So yeah,
Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. I'll see
you
you in Vegas.
all
Hold
right,
out a
man.
slice for me. I'm not
I'm a,
judging or
I'm
anything or competing, but I love to hang out around the competition anyway because that's where all the pizza guys
yeah.
are. So that's where
I'm gonna
I'm
put
going to
one on a
be right
plate,
at.
keep it on the side because I want your opinion. That's the thing. It's like even Wilhelm, all those guys, Enrico, all the U.S. pizza team. I'm always here. Take this. How's it taste? Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what you think I could change. I don't want to hear that's good. I want to know what you think I can change. That's what I always want.
There you go.
So I definitely want to give you a slice and you tell me what you think.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Thank you, brother. This was great. I'm sure you're gonna have some
Thanks for
people in your
having me,
inbox
man.
looking for you. Tell us how to find you on Instagram.
Instagram is Mia Ava East Coast. So you just type in Mia Ava East, you'll see it. I'm also on TikTok, Mia Ava East Coast Pizza. I'm still learning the TikTok game. I'm 51. So I'm still learning the TikTok game, trying to figure out what people like on there. I'm more of an Instagram person. But yeah, Mia Ava East Coast and Mia Ava East Coast Pizza. And like I said, if you got a question, drop me a line. I have no problem answering it. Might take me a
And
little bit to get to you, but I'll get to you.
if you go to Vegas, take the drive out to Pahrump to try his pizza, get a slice. He's probably got something
40 minutes
crazy
to
on
an
the
hour, depending on where you're at.
on the counter. I think you said you do slices 11 to 3 every day. Go try a slice
11 to 3 every
or
day.
go get a mystery box.
Mystery box.
Thank you,
You
Chris.
can use that.
I'm going to. Trust me. Hang out for a second.
All right.
Bam.
If you've gotten any value out of this episode or any of our other episodes, I need you to do me a favor. Go leave us a review. Every review on Apple, every 5-star rating on Spotify helps this show find more operators just like you and helps them get that same value that you're taking away from this episode. And as a thank you, anytime somebody leaves a review, sends me a screenshot, just DM me a screenshot of your review, I'm going to send you a free gift, something awesome, something cool. I'll send you a gift, whoever leaves a review. That's the challenge. Go leave a review, DM me a screenshot of it, and then I'll get you something. I got you something special from your boy. Now let's get back into the episode. Peace.